Hello friends, welcome to Dreamweaver Crocheting with Love. In today's tutorial, we are going to learn how to crochet this lovely little hat hair ties. It's a very easy and quick to do project and I hope you'll just enjoy doing this. So let's get into the tutorial. The materials that we need in order to crochet this little hat hair ties are a 2.5 mm crochet hook, any two different color 4-ply cotton yarn as per your choice, a good quality hairband, tapestry needle, stitch marker, fiber fill and scissors. So let's begin. For making the main part of the hat, I'll be using this olive green color yarn, and for working with the bow, I'll be using this pink color yarn. To start up with the little hat, first make a magic circle. And into this magic circle, work 6 single crochets. So once you're done with the 6 single crochets, pull the tail of the magic circle to close it and slip stitch into the first single crochet worked. So that completes the first round. Now for the second round, work 1 chain. And the sequence of this round is to work 2 single crochets into each of the stitches. So going into the very first stitch where we have slip stitch, work 2 single crochets. Moving into the next stitch, again work 2 single crochets. So just continue with the sequence till the end of the round. So here I have come towards the end of the second round by working 2 single crochets into each of the stitches, and in total I have worked 12 single crochets. Now to end the second round, slip stitch into the first single crochet work. Now for the third round, work 1 chain, and the sequence of this round is to work 1 single crochet into the first stitch followed by an increase, that is 2 single crochet into the next stitch. Now the sequence repeats. Going into the first stitch, work 1 single crochet and into the next work 2 single crochet. So repeat the sequence till the end of the round. Now by the end of the third round, in total we have worked 18 single crochets. Now slip stitch to end this round. Now fourth round would be the last round of increases. So work 1 chain, and in this round you will be working 1 single crochet into the first 2 stitches. So going into the first stitch, work 1 single crochet, into the next work 1 single crochet, and into the third stitch you will be working an increase, that is 2 single crochets into the same stitch. So this pattern will be repeated for the entire round. So here I have done with the fourth round, and by the end of the fourth round, in total I have worked 24 single crochets. Now for the next 4 rounds, that is from round 5 to round 8, we will be working 1 single crochet into each of the stitches, and we need not work any slip stitches to end the round. So going into the first stitch, work 1 single crochet, and in order to mark the first stitch of the round, use a stitch marker. So going into each of the stitches, work 1 single crochet, and after the end of the fourth round, when you come across the marker, just remove the marker and continue working single crochets without working any slip stitches. So continue with the sequence for the next 4 rounds. So once I am done with the 8th round, I shall get back. So from the start till here, in total I have worked 8 rows. Now remove the stitch marker and work a slip stitch. Now for the 9th row, we'll be working on the front loops of the stitches. So work one more slip stitch into the front loop of the stitch. So insert your hook into the front loop and work a slip stitch. Now work 2 chains. Now these 2 chains will be considered as the first half double crochet. Now going back into the same stitch on the front loop, work 1 half double crochet. So in total, I have worked 2 half double crochets. Now moving into the next stitch on the front loop, insert your hook and work half double crochet. So I work 2 half double crochet into the same stitch. So this is a sequence that will be following for the entire round. Going into the front loop of each of the stitches, work 2 half double crochet. So continue with the sequence till the end of the round. Now since we have worked the 9th round on the front loops of the stitches, so that in turn creates this pretty brim for our hat. Moreover, in the 8th round, we had worked about 24 single crochets. So by the end of the 9th round, we have done in total 48 half double crochet stitches. To end this round, slip stitch on the second chain. Now we shall work the 10th and the last round. For that, work 1 chain and going into the same space, work 1 single crochet. Now work 3 chains. Skip the next 2 stitches and going into the 3rd stitch, work 1 single crochet. Again work 3 chains. Skip the next 2 stitches and into the 3rd stitch, work 1 single crochet. So continue with the sequence till the end of the round. So this will create a pretty bordering for our brim. After working the 3 chains, skip the last 2 stitches and into the first stitch, work a slip stitch in order to end the 10th round. Now cut the yarn. So here we have done with the hat part. Now just weave in all the loose yarns on the inner side. Now we shall make the mini bow. For that I have taken this pink yarn. Now before making a slip knot, leave about 5 cm of yarn, which will be using to wind up around the bow. Make a slip knot and work 3 chains. Now skip the first 2 chains from the hook and going into the last chain, work 2 half double crochet. So I have done the first one. Going back into the same chain, work 1 more half double crochet. Now work 2 chains and slip stitch inside the chain. Now I will be repeating this once again. So work 2 chains. Going back into the same space, work 2 half double crochet. Make 2 chains and slip stitch into the chain space. Now just pull the tail so as to close this gap and cut the yarn. Now leave about 10 cm of yarn and cut. Now we shall wind up around the bow using these yarns. Holding one of the tails with your fingers in this way, wind up the other yarn tail around the bow like this about 2 to 3 times and going on the back side, tie knots between the 2 yarns. we have done with our mini bow. Now we need to attach this bow around the 7th row of the hat. So insert your hook into one of the stitches. And pull this yarn tail. Going on the back side of the hat, tie knots between the two yarns. Also, you can apply little bit hot glue so as the bow holds firmly over its place. Now the next step is to work a closure flap for this. Now for making the closure flap, I will be using the same yarn as used for making the hat. So first make a magic circle. And work 3 chains. Now these 3 chains will be considered as the first double crochet. Now we'll be working 5 more double crochets into the magic circle. So in total, including the 3 chains which were initially done, I have 6 double crochets. Now we'll be inserting this band in this way and then working over it. So going back into the magic circle, work 12 more double crochet. So I worked 12 double crochets. Now we will be inserting the other end of the band. Pull through and work 6 double crochets into the magic circle. So in total, into the magic circle, I have worked 24 double crochets. Now to pull the tail of the magic circle in order to close it and slip stitch on the third chain. Now pull the tail of the magic circle so as to close this gap. Now cut this yarn and leave a long tail which will be using to sew this to the hat. So over here I have placed the hair tie along with the crochet work, and this forms the back part and this is the front part. Now we shall place this closure flap on top of the hat in this way, and here you can see the left out back loop stitches of the 8th row. So we'll be joining the closure flap with the hat by passing the needle to the back loop as well as the double crochet stitches of the closure flap. So insert your needle into one of the stitches. and pass it through the stitch on the closure flap. Again, going to the stitch on the hat along with the stitch on the closure flap, sew them together. So you'll be doing this all the way along. So once I'm half done with this, I'll get back. So here I worked halfway through. Now before closing this gap completely, just place a little bit of fiber fill into the gap so that the hat holds shape. And then continue with the sewing process. So I've sewed the gap completely, tied knots and cut the yarns. So that completes our little hair tie tutorial. So I hope you found this tutorial really very useful and interesting too. In case of any queries, please let me know through comments. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.